Hello everyone, this side Akhil. Hope you're doing good. Today we're gonna I'm gonna show you like how can we create a invoice and like table by using a invoice form. How can we set up that invoice form like through Microsoft Access? Let's get started. I'm sharing my screen. So yeah, while coming to this customer table, like getting to the access, well, we should create a customer table based on we have to create a customer table based on the customer table, and we have a customer ID over here. Actually, for the invoice, we should have customer ID, date, total. That's it. Uh, Let me show you that. So this is how we can take the customer ID and the customer state and customer name and the customer postcode and customer phone. And we can add another fields like customer address, customer last name, customer first name. So coming to this invoice table, you can choose the data types as per the requirements. Though, so the customer ID would be auto number or number. You should choose the number. Customer share should be text. Postcode should be number and phone should be number. And for the customer name, we can take like text, short text. Likewise, we need to find out the relationship. We set up the relationship between customer table, invoice table, and item table and transaction table as per the given portfolio. So we just need to uh, maintain the relationship between like set up the relationship between these tables. Why? Because for the invoice, we should have a basic details like customer details, item details. Like if we go to a shop that so that we purchase certain items based on our requirements. So for that in that invoice, we should have some certain field names like customer name, customer state, ID, and the item numbers and description and their description along with the cost of, of the items of the cost and the total of the items and quantity. You can choose different items. So that's the fields. So as per particular fields, we have to choose we have to take a certain tables. We should maintain them. So for that, we should create a customer like for the tables. So we just need to maintain that relationship. We just need to create a tables. So for that customer table should be like this, and we should have a customer ID like this, and that would be related to another tables. Why? Because if we, like relate to other tables so that we can extract the data directly. So now let me show you invoice table as well. So in this invoice table, we should have a customer ID and the date and the total of the items, total invoices, so total items. So the customer ID would be, we should take a field name as a like, should choose it as a, we should choose, yeah, after clicking on the save and design view, you should see the customer ID would be number and auto number, date would be date or time. You should choose from this lookup fields like, and total would be number. So total of the items. So likewise, we should create. How can now see how can we create a table? Yeah. So by going on to create, just click on table. You can create a table. So likewise, we can, as per the given, I have created the transaction table based on the requirement like invoice number, quantity, item number, cost. So likewise, we have created these four tables based on the requirement: customer table, invoice table, item table, and transaction table, as you can see. So based on these, all the tables, I have set up the like relationship between those four tables. Why? Because based on the customer purchase items. So that would be related to another customer ID to invoice ID, and invoice ID to item ID, and item ID to transaction ID. So transaction ID will pull the data of the customer ID or customer name or customer first name or last name. So that's the reason we should relate to another like tables to extract the form, like a group of certain receipt. Let's call it as a receipt. So we can see like by going out of the database tools, you can see the analyze table. So after you click, yep, after going out of database table, you can see the relationships. After clicking out of this, you can see as you can see here, there is a relationship has been set up. Customer table to invoice table to transaction table to item table. So this is how the relationship is set up for the tables which we have taken: customer table, invoice table, and item table. For these tables, we should extract the data from the customer ID to the invoice ID, and that would be easier to extract the data with the help of the previous given table, like customer data to invoice table to transaction table to item table. So this is how we can set up the relationship between the customer, like invoice and invoice table, so that invoice we can set up a invoice likewise we can set up by using this Microsoft Access. Thanks for watching.